Son of a...
By Maxwell Adam, Lu Hao Hung, Grace Mo, Adam Cohen, and Roger Reich. We believe that the public's dislike of DOTS can be attributed to the complex nature of the system it oversees. One of the easiest examples to showcase how complex the system actually is the map of campus parking. Anyone looking at this map is going to be instantly overwhelmed. The system itself is also constantly adapting to changing conditions. The signs on site that are also meant to explain the nature of each individual lot and restrictions that may be in place are also complex, with several different indicators that are not accurate at all times. The nature of the system results more often than not in confusion. This confusion leads to ticketed cars when the violator believes that they were within requirements. According to our primary research, those who found the system less comprehensible were also those who received tickets. When staff, visitors, and students are penalized for lack of understanding of a complex system that they have no feasible way to opt out of, is where most of the animosity towards DOTS is generated.
So what's your name?
My name is Benny Schulman. I'm a junior at the University of Maryland.
And do you park on campus ever or have a car here?
Yeah, I have a car. I've had a car since my sophomore year, and I've parked on campus a bunch of times.
And do you have a parking permit to park on campus? Or you usually pay the meter or go to the lots once
Just usually pay the meter, go to the lots. I don't have a parking permit.
And has your parking on campus ever resulted in getting a ticket?
Yes, actually many times. This one time, my sophomore year, I was late to my sociology final. I rushed there with my car. I parked in a lot, which I thought I was able to park in, and then of course I get out of my final and I have a ticket.
So do you feel like this is a common occurrence for other students in Maryland and for yourself?
Yes, actually, whenever I park, I usually have someone come up to me and ask me about the parking, and I can never confidently tell them whether they will not get a ticket or if they will. I'm starting to get the hang of it, but still, it's very inconvenient for a student to park.
So you think that DOT should have a more, an easier to understand system?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been this way for a while. My sister, who just graduated last May, told me stories about how she would always get parking tickets and how the lots would change, and it just was very inconvenient.
Originally, the Department of Transportation was established to help the university control the growing reality of motor vehicles as part of the campus, and today is authorized under Maryland law to enforce the regulations set forth by the school as part of managing its large and mobile population.
Recognizing that the current system is complex, we can look at another system such as Towson University. In comparison to Towson, D.O.T.S has given out a disproportional amount of tickets in respecting the student body size. This can signify an underlying issue. How can a population less than double the size generates quadruple amount of parking fines? The enrollment of 22,000 students from Towson generates about $570,000 of fines from last year versus enrollment of 37,000 students from UMD with 2.2 million fines from parking tickets. Furthermore, UMD generates $438 from a parking permit on average, compared with Towson University, which generates $256 from a parking permit on average. This leads to our belief that Towson University's transportation service has more of a relaxed policy than UMD's D.O.T.S. The organizational structure of D.O.T.S is heavily vertical. The department is headed by the VP for Student Affairs, followed by the Assistant VP of Student Affairs and the Executive Director of Transportation Services. Under the Executive Director of Transportation Services, there are 7 associate directors in 7 different areas, which are operation, budget and finance, special projects, parking administration, external communication, HR and internal communication, and lastly, IT. All of the operational revenues that supports the parking program are generated by parking fees, tickets, and parking meter income. According to D.O.T.S annual report, D.O.T.S has collected $2.2 million from 62,978 parking tickets this year. The total revenue for D.O.T.S this year is about $15.4 million. All of the revenues are used to support transportation services, improve infrastructure, salaries of workers, new parking lots, and etc. Maybe ticketing is higher for UMD because of our complex parking system.
There are 3 types of parking on campus: student, faculty, and visitor parking. The students park in numbered lots, the faculty can park in lettered and numbered lots, and visitors park in lots designated as visitor parking. Since we ourselves are students, our video will focus on student parking. Students must register their vehicles before they can park on campus. Registration for the entire school year costs $249 for commuter students and $481 for resident and satellite students. Lot assignments are based on class standing, with upperclassmen getting earlier registration dates and more lots to choose from. Their student's license plate serves as a permit, and each commuter can have 2 vehicles registered on their permit. However, only 1 vehicle can be parked on campus at a time. D.O.T.S uses a license plate recognition system to ensure that only persons with permits are parked in each lot. D.O.T.S has a list of 19 violations that result in fines. The lowest fine of $15 is for parking outside of controlled lines. The highest fine of $500 is for illegal use of a state-issued disabled permit. Other violations and their prices include: 1. More than 1 vehicle per registrant on campus at the same time, $150. 2. Parked in other than assigned area, $75. And 3. Expired parking meter, $35. Parking rules are slightly different when there are basketball and football games, breaks and vacations, and finals.
Yeah, I think so too. I thought you could park everywhere, like any lot that has a number or letter.
Lot 1? During football games, I can park anywhere. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, you can park in lot 1 and also the stadium drive garage.
Lot 1?
Yeah. Lot 1. Anywhere.
I guess. I think you need a permit, actually, for summer.
Students are confused about when and where they can park. We think an app can help.
This application will be available for download on both Android and iPhone platforms. It will follow a minimalistic design with application functionality limited to basic and simplistic technologies, such as an e-board where real-time updates are posted in a format similar to Twitter's homepage. In addition, the application will include updated parking and campus maps, a live list of current parking locations for visitors and commuters, and a detailed section that covers parking violations and fines. The application will require an estimated 14 megabytes of space, which is less than half the size of the Twitter mobile application, and an internet connection. The cost of building this application is quoted to be around $35,000. It will require at most 2 staff members to operate and maintain. Since this application is designed to answer most concerns and questions, D.O.T.S customer service will experience less calls and complaints, thus freeing up employees' time and allowing them to focus more on application maintenance and other work. In addition to the application, we will use John Cotter's 8-step approach to inspire change. Note that this is not within the organization of D.O.T.S, but within the commuters themselves. We feel that commuters, as a whole, lack the motivation to fight for change. Therefore, we will create a sense of urgency through the use of social networking. We will launch a campaign that compares UMD's parking system to various universities such as Towson. We believe that this will initially upset commuters and ultimately create a sense of urgency. Afterwards, we will create a club and online group where commuters can meet and form. The vision will be that one day commuters' ideas and thoughts will be represented by D.O.T.S, such as the application idea. The vision will be communicated and spread, once again, through social networking sites. We plan to empower commuters by offering them the tools and environment necessary to achieve the vision. For example, one tool would be a larger voice.
In essence, a big group is more effective at being noticed and heard rather than a small group. Another tool is support from team members. Since the group shares a common vision, it becomes a team. Teams have all sorts of unique advantages over the single person. For instance, within a team, ideas become more refined, as there are members with different skills and backgrounds. Multiple short-term goals will be set. The idea is that goals should not be impossible to reach. In fact, they should be easy to meet. Difficult goals might discourage commuters to change, while easy goals make it seem more feasible. One example of a short-term goal is getting noticed. When D.O.T.S discovers that commuters are visibly upset, they might listen to what they have to say. This leads to the next goal, which is to pass on the vision. Each goal that is met will be the foundation for the next. We plan to cement the vision through the implementation of an oversight committee that consists of members who are elected by commuters every year. The committee members will represent commuters' beliefs and present them to D.O.T.S.
Posted in front of you is the D.O.T.S mission statement. The D.O.T.S mission statement states that the Department of Transportation Services will honor the mission and values of the University of Maryland by providing safe, cost-effective, and innovative services which anticipate the needs of our campus community and constituents as they relate to accessing institutionally supported facilities and destinations. Our research indicates that students do not currently believe D.O.T.S is following through on their mission to provide cost-effective and innovative service. We strongly believe that the implementation of a mobile application will shift public perception in D.O.T.'s favor and convince them that they are doing their part to follow through on these two actions. However, there are several barriers preventing the development and implementation of the application. These include, but are not limited to, the cost of developing the application, the time to develop the application, the success of the current system, and the lack of immediacy due to the current success. We understand these concerns, but we are confident that the overall benefit would greatly outweigh the cost. D.O.T.'s public image problem can be directly attributed to the complex parking rules and the fines that result from violating these rules. By providing students with a platform that better communicates the intricacies of the system, D.O.T.S can eliminate the number of tickets resulting from misinformed students. This may slightly lower ticket revenue, but saves D.O.T.S hours of work handling complaints and would greatly improve their public image. As you can see, D.O.T.S reviews over 8,000 tickets a year, and over 3,000 of those come from students. The savings on manpower alone would be huge. Students could no longer blame D.O.T.'s complicated system and would be forced to accept blame rather than direct their anger at D.O.T.S. We are confident that the implementation of our plan will greatly benefit the students and D.O.T.S at the University of Maryland. Students will find it easier to know when and where they're able to park and feel less stressed when it comes to parking on campus.